Ever notice how the harder you try to be seen, the more invisible you feel? You explain, you defend, you over-deliver, you bend yourself just to be understood. But no matter what you do, it's like you're shouting into a void. That's not a coincidence. That's your wake-up call. The truth is, some people have already made up their minds about you, and the more you try to prove yourself to them, the more power you give away. It's like whispering truth into the ears of someone who's already decided not to listen. They don't want clarity, they want control. Think of it like this. A candle doesn't beg for attention, it just burns. And when the lights go out, everyone scrambles to find it. That's what happens when you stop chasing validation and start standing in your silence. That's when people feel your absence like a punch, not your words. Some won't notice you until you disappear. Others won't value you until you've already moved on. And by then, it's too late. They'll come back with confusion, with regret, trying to rewrite the past they ignored. But you won't be waiting anymore, because now you know better. You can keep exhausting yourself trying to be enough for people who were never meant to understand you. Or you can pull back, protect your energy, and let your results, not your explanations, do the talking. That's the power shift. That's the moment everything changes. So the real question is, will you keep proving yourself to the wrong people? Or will you finally walk away in silence and let that silence do what your words never could? Stay with me. This will change how you see everything. If this message hit home, if you've ever felt the pain of proving yourself to people who just refuse to see you, then don't keep it to yourself. Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it too. We're not just making videos, we're creating reminders that can shift mindsets and change lives. And now it's your turn. Drop a comment below. Have you ever tried to prove yourself to the wrong people? What did it teach you? Let's talk about it. Your story could be the reason someone else wakes up. Number 1. Stop proving yourself to people who've already judged you. You'll never win that game. Why keep explaining yourself to people who've already decided who you are? Let's get real. There's nothing more exhausting than trying to change someone's mind that's already made up. You could spend hours explaining, days proving, years showing up, and still they'll only see what they want to see. Not because they're blind, but because they're committed to their version of you. And no matter what you do, they will twist it to fit their story. You help them. You're desperate. You hold your ground. You're difficult. You succeed. You must have gotten lucky. That's the trap of trying to win over the wrong people. They don't see you. They see their bias. And the more you try to change their mind, the more power you give away. Marcus Aurelius said, "If someone can prove me wrong, I'll gladly change. For it's the truth I seek, not my own opinion." But most people aren't seeking truth. They're seeking to be right. And you end up performing for an audience that refuses to clap. I knew a guy, let's call him Adam, smart, hard-working, always went the extra mile. But his boss had already decided he wasn't good enough. Every success was brushed off, every step forward dismissed. Adam bent over backward trying to gain respect. Until one day he realized he was running a race where the finish line kept moving. So he stopped. He shifted his focus to what he could control, his growth, his mindset, and his next opportunity. And when he left, he found a place where he didn't have to prove his worth just to be seen. Here's the lesson. Stop arguing with closed minds. Stop performing for people who've already misjudged you. Your worth doesn't need their permission. If someone refuses to see your growth, let them go blind. Because the people who matter They'll see you without needing an explanation. Number 2, never tie your worth to their approval. That's how you lose yourself. Stop letting people decide your worth. That power belongs to you. Let's talk about one of the most damaging habits we fall into, giving other people the power to define our worth. It's tempting, right? You want to be seen, you want to be appreciated, so you start measuring your value by how others react to you. Their praise becomes your fuel, their silence becomes your shame. But here's the trap. The moment your confidence depends on someone else's approval, you've handed them the keys to your identity. And the wrong people? They'll use that power to keep you small. They'll withhold support, ignore your progress, and treat your efforts like background noise, not because you aren't enough, but because they don't want to see it. Seneca once said, "A man cannot be comfortable without his own approval." In other words, if you don't validate yourself first, you'll always be at the mercy of someone else's opinion. And guess what? People's opinions are unstable. One minute you're enough, the next you're too much. One day you're impressive, the next they're unimpressed. You'll stay stuck in a loop of chasing recognition that never truly comes. I knew someone, let's call her Sarah, brilliant, kind, dedicated, but she worked with people who never really saw her. No matter how much she gave, they treated her like she was always falling short. And she tried everything, being nicer, working harder, staying silent, but their respect never came. Why? Because they had no intention of giving it. And one day, she realized she didn't need it, so she stopped proving. She stopped shrinking. She built her confidence on her own standards, not theirs. And that's when everything changed, not because they finally saw her worth, but because she did. Here's your reminder. Your value is not a group decision. It doesn't rise or fall based on who claps for you. The right people will recognize your worth without a performance. And the rest? They don't matter. Approve of yourself first, and no one can ever take that from you. Number 3. Don't take their criticism personally. It's just their insecurity projected onto you. Their judgment isn't truth. It's a mirror of their own insecurity. Here's a truth most people learn the hard way. When someone constantly criticizes you, it usually has nothing to do with you. It's not your lack of effort, not your choices, not even your flaws. It's their own fear wearing your name. People often judge what they don't understand and attack what they're secretly jealous of. You could be making progress, building something meaningful, doing everything right, and still, there will be voices trying to tear you down. Why? Because your growth reminds them of their stagnation. Your courage reminds them of their fear. Your dreams, they highlight the dreams they gave up on. Criticism isn't always insight. Sometimes it's just projection. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The opinion of 10,000 men is of no value if none of them know the truth." And that's the key. Just because someone has an opinion doesn't make it truth. Most people speak through the filter of their own disappointment, insecurity, and regret. Let me tell you about a woman I know. We'll call her Emily. She had a dream to start her own business. She shared her vision with friends, expecting support. What she got instead were warnings, doubts, and backhanded advice. Most businesses fail. Are you sure you're ready for that? But none of these people had ever taken a risk themselves. They weren't speaking from experience. They were speaking from fear. Emily paused, but she didn't fold. She stopped taking advice from people who never built anything. She trusted herself. Years later, her business flourished, while the same people stayed stuck, still talking, still doubting, still projecting. So the next time someone judges your path, ask yourself, Are they really offering wisdom, or just exposing their own limits? Don't shrink to make others comfortable. Keep building, keep growing. Let their insecurities stay with them, where it belongs. Number 4. Quit explaining your value. Let your results speak so loud they can't be ignored. Stop explaining your worth. Let your growth be the proof. One of the most common mistakes people make is trying to prove themselves with words. You feel misunderstood, overlooked, or judged, and the first instinct is to explain, to defend, to argue your case. You want them to know your intentions. You want to be seen. But here's the truth. People who don't want to see your value will never be convinced by your words, ever. You could lay out your whole heart, explain every decision, share your story in perfect detail, and still, they'll twist it. Because some people aren't interested in understanding you. They're committed to doubting you. So why keep arguing? As Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." In other words, stop explaining. Just become. Let your actions carry the weight your words never could. Let me tell you about someone. Let's call him Daniel. He worked for a boss who never once acknowledged his effort. No matter how well he performed, it wasn't enough. Daniel could have spoken up, pleaded his case, demanded respect. But instead, he chose something better. He got so good they couldn't ignore him. He refined his craft, worked on his skills, built quiet momentum. And one day, without saying a word, he earned the very recognition that once seemed impossible, not because he convinced his boss, but because his results spoke louder than anything he could have said. So here's your lesson. Don't waste your breath explaining your worth to people who've already made up their minds. Put that energy into building yourself. Work in silence. Improve in silence. Let your results scream. Because the strongest response to doubt isn't a defense. It's undeniable growth. You don't have to shout to be powerful. You just have to show up, stay consistent, and let your life do the talking. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And drop a comment. Have you ever stopped proving yourself? What changed when you finally let go? Number 5. Stop wasting energy on people who'll never respect you. Invest in those who do. Why waste your energy proving yourself to people who only drain you? Let's be honest, proving yourself to the wrong people isn't just frustrating, it's exhausting. You try harder, you explain more, you stretch yourself just to be seen, but it never ends. They either ignore your effort, change the rules, or act like it's still not good enough. And here's the worst part. While you're breaking yourself to win their approval, you're completely overlooking the people who already respect you without asking for anything in return. Some people will never appreciate your growth because your growth threatens their comfort. No matter what you do, they'll downplay it. Why? Because recognizing your value would force them to question why they never supported you in the first place. And so, the more you chase their validation, the more you drift from the ones who have always clapped quietly in the background, the ones who truly see you. Seneca once said, "Surround yourself with those who make you better." That doesn't just mean people who challenge you. It means people who celebrate your wins, respect your silence, and don't require you to constantly prove that you belong. If someone always makes you feel like you're not enough, that's not growth, that's emotional debt. Let me tell you about Leo. Always trying to earn a seat at the wrong table. He'd share a win, they'd mock it. He'd open up, they'd brush it off. He thought he needed their approval to feel worthy, until he realized something. While he was begging crumbs from the wrong people, there were others, real friends, mentors, who had believed in him all along. And the moment he stopped chasing the wrong ones, everything changed. His energy came back, his peace returned, his life shifted. The truth? You only have so much energy. Spend it where it grows you, not where it drains you. The right people won't need to be convinced. They'll already know. So stop chasing the cold and start standing in the warmth of those who truly see you. Number 6. Silence your need for validation. That's where real confidence begins. Real confidence moves in silence. Only insecurity needs to be seen. Let's make one thing clear. Confidence doesn't shout. It doesn't wave its hands in the air, begging for someone to notice. It doesn't try to be liked, approved, or accepted. Confidence walks into the room without needing to announce itself, because it already knows it belongs. Insecurity, though, that's loud. It needs to be seen, heard, validated. It craves the spotlight, not because it wants to shine, but because it's terrified of being invisible. Insecure people chase applause. Confident people create impact. One is noise, the other is presence. Here's the trap most people fall into. They confuse attention with respect. They think if people praise them, it means they matter. But when you let others decide your worth, you hand them the power to control how you feel about yourself. And the wrong people, they'll use that against you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "A wise man is content with himself." That means real confidence isn't found in someone else's approval. It's found in the quiet knowing that you are enough, without performance, without permission, without applause. Let me tell you about a woman I know. We'll call her Sophia. She used to over-explain everything, her choices, her actions, even her success. She worked overtime, smiled through exhaustion, all just to be seen by people who barely cared. But one day, something clicked. She realized no matter how much she gave, it was never enough for the wrong crowd. So she stopped chasing, stopped justifying, stopped proving. And something strange happened. People started respecting her more, not because she asked for it, but because she didn't need it anymore. Confidence isn't loud. It's not in your words. It's in your energy, your decisions, your silence. When you stop chasing validation and start standing in your truth, you stop needing the spotlight because you become the light. Number 7. Walk away from those who withhold approval. That's how you take your power back. You take your power back the moment you stop needing their approval. What if I told you that the freedom you're searching for doesn't come from being liked, understood, or accepted, but from no longer needing to be? That's the truth most people never hear. The key to peace is not found in proving your worth. It's found in walking away from the need to. We're taught to believe that if we work hard enough, explain ourselves well enough, and stay humble enough, people will finally give us the validation we crave. But let's be honest, some people will never give it. Not because you're unworthy, but because keeping you uncertain makes them feel in control. As long as you chase their approval, they hold the strings. Every time you over-explain, every time you beg to be seen, you give away your peace. And what do you get in return? Emptiness, exhaustion, silence. The more you chase validation from the wrong people, the further you drift from your true self. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things beyond our control. And nothing is more out of your control than someone else's opinion. You can't force respect. You can't make them appreciate you. but you can stop needing their recognition to feel whole. A man I know, let's call him Ryan, spent years trying to win his father's approval. No matter what he achieved, it was met with silence. But the moment he slipped, that's when the criticism poured in. For years, he chased that one sentence, "I'm proud of you." But it never came. One day, Ryan stopped waiting. He set his own standards, and for the first time, he felt something his father never gave him: peace. You don't owe your success to anyone's validation. Let go of the weight, reclaim your energy, and start living for the only approval that matters, your own. That's when you become free. Number 8. Drop the need to be understood. Live unapologetically and watch everything align. Drop the need to be understood. Live unapologetically and watch everything align. Let's be honest. The need to be understood is one of the heaviest chains we carry. You explain your choices. You defend your boundaries. You break yourself down into pieces just to be more relatable. But the more you try to make people understand you, the more misunderstood you feel. Why? Because not everyone is meant to get you. Some people don't lack the ability to understand, they lack the willingness. They've already placed you in a box, and when you start outgrowing it, they don't listen, they label: too intense, too quiet, too confident, too different. But here's the truth. Being misunderstood isn't a sign that you're broken. It's a sign that you're evolving beyond their comfort zone. Seneca said, "If you live according to nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to opinion, you will never be rich." Translation: stop living for other people's expectations. The more you seek to be understood by those who don't value you, the more you shrink. But when you drop the need to explain yourself, something powerful happens: alignment, peace, strength, freedom. There's a woman I know, we'll call her Maya. For years, she kept watering herself down just to be accepted by her family, her friends, her partner. She avoided conflict, sugar-coated her dreams, and always played small. But no matter how much she compromised, she still felt like a stranger in her own life. Until one day she stopped explaining. She made decisions without needing permission. She spoke her truth without softening the edges, and suddenly, the right people started showing up. The ones who didn't need a manual to understand her. The ones who just got it. Here's your reminder. You don't need to be understood to be respected. You don't need approval to be authentic. Stop chasing clarity from confused people. Start living boldly, unapologetically, and freely. Because when you stop explaining, the right energy finds you, every time. And here's the truth that ties it all together. The moment you stop proving, chasing, or explaining yourself to the wrong people is the moment you step into your real power. You don't need to be understood to live fully. You just need to be true to yourself. Let your silence speak. Let your growth scream. And let your peace be the proof. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And drop a comment. Have you ever stopped proving yourself? What changed when you finally let go?